I 29 female just found out that my fiance 30 male has been selling my nties behind my back. I 29 female just found out that my fiance 30 male has been selling my nties behind my back. Relationships. We have been engaged for 4 months and dating for 2 years. We decided to move in together about 3 months ago and everything has been going wonderfully. Throughout the last 3 months I have noticed my underwear going missing every now and then. I thought nothing of it because I probably have 50 pairs and I usually keep a pair or two in different bags purses in case of monthly accidents. So sometimes I will be looking for that red lace thong, but can't find it, so I just assume it is in a purse bag. Or so that was my reasoning. This morning I was looking for the matching panties to a bra I was wearing. I looked all over and could not find them. I asked my fiance to check the dryer in case they were in there. He chuckled and said he had sold them. I assumed he was kidding and laughed and asked him to look for me. He then goes, "Babe, I am serious." I could not believe what I was hearing. I was beyond upset and hurt. I pressed him for details and he said he has been selling my worn panties to random people from CL. I packed a bag and went to my sister's house for the night. I feel sick to my stomach about this. We aren't even broke or strapped for cash. His reasoning was that he wanted to make extra money to get me a nice wedding band. I need advice about what I should do. I am at a loss right now. Too long didn't read. Fiance admitted he has been selling my nties behind my back. Update. First and foremost, thanks to everyone's thoughtful advice and feedback, I went back to my place with my sister while he was at work. I packed up the majority of my things and brought them back to my sister's place. Once he got off work, I phoned him. I felt that this was the easiest method of communication and told him to tell me exactly what he had done. Here are the main key points. He has been selling my used panties for the last 3 months. In addition to this, he has also posted semi-nude sexually suggestive pictures of myself that I had sent him. He had sold the underwear that I had on in the pictures. He said he only posted the pictures to the buyers to prove to them that it really was worn by me. He said he told the buyers that I was 100% consenting. He pretended to be me in the emails, and when he met up in person to sell them, he would tell the men that I was too afraid of coming on my own, and that I asked him to go deliver them. He has sold about 20 pairs of underwear. I have a lot of underwear, and I frequently purchase new pairs. This is why I didn't really notice such a huge amount going missing, especially since I usually keep a few pairs in gym bags, etc. He admitted to have made $900 through this. He said he sells them for about 40 pair, give or take. He initially told me he wanted a bit of extra cash in order to customize my wedding band. When I pressed him on, he admitted he got a bit of a thrill by selling my panties, and knowing other men found me sexually attractive got aroused by my underwear. He apologized profusely and tried to compare it to selling my used designer shoes or purse. I completely disagree with this, because there is a sexual motivation for these men buying them. I feel sexually exploited and taken advantage of. I have decided to break off the engagement and I am done with this relationship. This entire incident took me by surprise and I never suspected he would do something like this. I will hopefully break the news to my family this weekend with the support of my sister. He is still trying to convince me to go to couples therapy with him and wants to salvage our relationship. But I am honestly done with him at this point. Too long didn't read confronted ex-fiance about him selling my underwear. He admitted to much more. Edit. So the topic of the money has come up. He did not offer to pay me back and some users are suggesting I demand the money, while others say it's a bad move to take it. Thoughts? I think I'd be most disturbed by his stupidity. I am assuming he posted these ads for your area. What if someone you knew saw them and showed you? How long was he going to try and swing this? I am really sorry. That's ducked up. That thought never occurred to me. I hope no one I know has seen them. It may sound cold, but are you considering pressing charges? Very possibly. I can't imagine how violated you must feel right now. Good for you for breaking it off. I could not imagine spending my life with somebody who could do something so vile. I agree. I just feel so blindsided by his actions. I would go as far to talk to a lawyer or police. This kind of thing could be seen by anyone online. What if a friend, colleague, boss found it? What he did was criminal. I am so glad you've left him. Edit. Don't ask for the money if you plan on having him charged. The money is the proceeds of crime. If you can prove all this, you collect damages. Don't ask for the money. Don't take the money if he offers. What will it gain you beside a little dirty cash and his satisfaction that it was at least a little about money for you? In addition, if anything does come from this, like legal action, you taking the money could be implied consent. Just separate from this entirely and report to the police. You want to be 100% clean from this. I mean, this could be brought up by a future partner or a job that checks on your name. If anyone asks, you want to be able to say this was someone doing this without my knowledge or consent. I took no money and in fact reported him to the police as some as I could. Don't let this ass in any way define your future. Second story. I 27 male am concerned that my semi-girlfriend 23 female of a couple of months is with me for my celebrity status. I've worried about this in the past. This is obviously a throwaway for good reason. Without going into much detail, I am an actor on a sitcom and I've been for a few years. I am a supporting actor and most of you would not know my name but many would be familiar with my character. I am certainly far from a big deal. I am not famous enough to be followed by paparazzi thankfully but am recognized regularly on the streets. I do fine financially, but I am not Brad Pitt I wish. And I don't live a very high profile celebrity lifestyle. I am happy just staying in on the weekend. I recently met someone at a coffee shop. I sat next to her and we started chatting. She was down to earth and when she asked what I did, I told her I did some acting. Nothing uncommon around these parts. She didn't seem to recognize me, and I didn't go into more detail. I got her number and we texted a few times. Then we met for lunch and she said something that made it clear she recognized me. We've hung out since then several times. She wanted to introduce me to one of her friends who is a killer fan of the show. That had me nervous. Apparently, she is just a big fan. I didn't really like to be paraded in that way, but it was fine. That's part of my job to some extent. The thing that is getting to me is that she often refers to me as though I am my character. For example, I might say something sarcastic and she'll say okay character. I am not on Facebook, but one of my friends is and he friended her. He showed me her page and she wrote, a few months ago, oh my god, I meant my name. I think he is into me. Celeb girlfriend use of hashtags on Facebook aside. It started making me think she was into me for my character or to show off and not into me. This is obviously a problem in my life. I have dated 2 actresses, neither of who are all that famous. Both had their sights on bigger things. I know for a fact that at least one was using me as a way to get her name out there. It worked. I am very happy for her. Otherwise, I am attracted to students, bartenders, baristas, etc. I tend to date around, rarely in serious relationships because I am concerned that they don't like me for me. I play a very extroverted, confident character, but that isn't me in real life. My self-esteem is fine, but I guess I am a bit paranoid. I feel like this girl likes me, but would she if I wasn't a minor celebrity? Is there some way to know? Am I doomed to dating within the industry? Do most people realize that who we are as characters is not really how we are as people? Any advice is appreciated. Oh, and yes, I am a regular Redditor. I lurk on this sub a lot, and I appreciate the advice of those not in the industry. Thank you. Edit just to clarify. She doesn't call me by my character's name. She does talk about my character as if it is another person, but she then compares me to him. I really appreciate everything I've read so far, even if I don't directly respond to it. Too long didn't read always worried that people I date are interested in my celebrity status, but I really like the person I am currently dating. How should I approach my concerns? Third story. My 25 female boyfriend 26 male of 1 year just told me that he wants me to pay him a rental fee for borrowing his car to visit my family. Am I wrong to be upset? Ordinarily this wouldn't be a problem. I would just take my car, but it is being fixed right now. This meant that in order for me to drive to see my family for Thanksgiving I would have to either rent a car or borrow someone's. Since my boyfriend was flying out to California for Thanksgiving and wouldn't be using his, I asked him if he would mind if I borrowed it. He told me that of course I could borrow his car. Nothing else was said about it until today other than some minor things. I texted him to thank him again for helping me. The way I worded things apparently made it clear to him that I was only planning to cover the gas I used, and he told me that he expected me to pay him a reasonable fee for using the car. Reasonable to him is $50 a day plus replacing the gas I use, so the visit will cost me at least $250 in addition to whatever the gas costs. It is his car, so I don't think I can really argue with him about this. I do understand in principle. I don't think being his girlfriend entitles me to use his stuff whenever I want, but I am hurt that he is being so stingy. We've been together for a year, it's the holidays, and my only other option was renting a car through a private company. I guess I would have hoped that he would have been more sympathetic, but maybe he has a right to expect that he be paid for use of his car. I don't know. I very rarely ask him for any favors and cover all of my expenses myself, so he can't say that I am using him or exploiting him financially. This has never come up before, so I have been taken off guard. Maybe I am being too sensitive. Edit just so you guys know. I am already at my family's house. Sorry if that wasn't clear. Too long didn't read I had to borrow my boyfriend's car to visit my family. He wants me to pay him $50 per day for use of it. I am upset by this, but I think that maybe I am just being too sensitive. Update. Hey, everyone. I know a lot of you have been wanting an update. I meant to post one way a few days ago, but things have been really busy lately. I didn't want to ruin my Thanksgiving holiday thinking about the car situation, so I decided to wait until I got back to discuss it with my boyfriend. I was really hoping that this was all just a misunderstanding, but unfortunately it was not. When I brought up the rental payment, My boyfriend said that he thought it was only fair that I compensate him for the use of his car. He asked me if I had a problem with that, and I told him that I did. I mentioned what some of you said about how I could have rented a car for less if I had known he was going to charge me. I also told him how I felt like he had taken advantage of me by only mentioning the fee after I had taken his car. One thing that one of you mentioned was that maybe someone had suggested it to him. I asked him about that, and he said that no one had said anything. He just figured that it would only be fair for me to pay for the use of his car. I did at least get him to see that the price he charged me was too high, but he didn't think he was wrong about the fee. We ended up having a larger conversation about how tight he is with money and some other things I mentioned in my first post. I didn't intend to break up with him, but after he still insisted on the rental payment, I just realized that he was not someone I wanted to be with. I did end up paying him, but it was $100 instead of $250. So that's the update. He has apologized and asked me to take him back, but I don't think I am interested anymore. Thanks for your help, everyone. Too long didn't read. Boyfriend was serious when he requested I pay him a rental fee for his car. We broke up. Fourth story. My 37 female boyfriend 39 male hit another woman. My boyfriend and I have had exes that have cheated, so we set a rule at the start of our relationship: if anyone of the opposite gender contacted us, we would immediately let the other know. I told him that full transparency was important to me, and that I never wanted to be in another relationship where I even felt the need to snoop through their phone. He agreed, and I finally felt safe from cheating in a relationship. Over the course of the 6 months we've been together, I have had a lot of men hit on me, slide in my DMs, past flames text me, etc. Each and every time I would tell him, and sometimes he would ask to see the messages, so I would gladly hand my phone over for him to see the messages. We'd laugh and he'd say to delete it or block them. Whatever. Fast forward to calling his dad together on Father's Day, and I see the name Sissy pop up in his phone book. My mind started spinning. When we first started dating, Sissy was a stripper he would brag to me would beg to be with him. At the time I ignored it and chalked it up to him being insecure. But why did he still have her number? I asked to see his phone, his contact list. He refused. I got angrier. He still refused. I asked why he had her number. He had no explanation. It was a huge fight. Days later he tells me now that she messaged him, which he failed to ever tell me. That this has been the only contact with a woman he's had and he never responded. I'm fuming. I've been down this road before. I tell him I need access to his T-Mobile account to verify this, since anyone can easily delete calls and texts. He tells me no, that he never agreed to a transparent relationship, but that I set that rule for myself, and we could talk about it now, but only if I agreed to also give him my phone and logins. I disagree. I've been fully and foolishly transparent this whole time, and here he was hiding something. We both refuse to budge, and I think since he's in the wrong he should. I'm pregnant with his child, so leaving is not an easy option. Thoughts? Too long didn't read. I caught my boyfriend with a message from another woman even though we agreed not to hide things like this. Update for those of you asking. Yes, I have been seeing a therapist for some time. I asked him to get couples therapy months ago and he refused. But since I've been hormonal and a bit more difficult to deal with, he has since changed his tune, still refuses to get individual therapy himself. Initially I was working with my therapist on accepting that I can never change him. I can only change myself. And more recently we have been working on an exit strategy. Thank you all for your feedback and support. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.